Hello everyone and welcome back to Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. In the last episode we took care of Aryan Road and we unfortunately had to kill our former friends Mercedes and Ingrid, which put Dimitri at quite the loss. But in this episode, Edelgard has decided to return back to Inbar. And it looks like we have a single mission here. Enemy level 33, Inbar, the Imperial capital. Edelgard's army returns to Inbar, hoping to recuperate from the fatigue of the recent string of battles. Little do you know, your respite is about to be brief indeed. And we have Ambrosia and an advanced seal as a reward for this. I did go through and I targeted going after the lowest support conversations necessary and bringing that stuff up, and then I also gave everyone some new classes if they were completely maxed out, because I don't think we're going to be getting Master Seals for at least a couple chapters here. So all the more time for them to get more abilities by mastering different classes, right? So they're going down different paths. Caspar now has an axe and a few other things. I've kept Bernadetta as she is because she's the only archer that we have at the moment. But yeah, everyone else taking some new paths. A lot of the mages have moved over to priests now, so we'll see how that works out. And I also went and optimized everyone's abilities and their magic and their classes and everything. I mean, pretty much I did every single bit of housekeeping that I possibly could over the last hour since I recorded the previous episode. So let's hope it looks well for us in this battle. No side missions for this one, which means something crazy is about to happen. And we're on chapter 8, it looks like. What have we got in store for us? What indeed?
I'm glad we have returned to Enbar. It's far warmer than the kingdom, for one. How are you doing, Your Majesty? I hope you've been getting some rest at least. It seems you never stop working unless someone physically pulls you away from it.
That's true.
I've been getting more rest than Hubert, at least. We're here in the gardens, chatting, are we not?
Fair enough. And so I'm clear, even a sliver of your time is a blessing beyond all measure.
Please stop buttering her up.
Though I suggest you find a better point of comparison than Hubert for how hard you work.
Why was my microphone so low on the volume there? I don't know what happened. Maybe I accidentally turned it down. Hopefully it wasn't like that for the last part, but maybe it was. My apologies.
This is the part where you nobles all crowd around a table slurping on tea, right? Seems like a good enough way to unwind a bit.
Tea? I wouldn't mind were it just myself and Her Majesty, but...
Well, fuck you too, I guess.
What's happening in the throne room?
How can you see
Hubert,
that
what's
from here?
wrong?
Intruders in the palace, Your Majesty. They entered through one of the secret passages, and are even now attempting to hunt you down. I sent soldiers to intercept them, but we should be prepared for anything.
Do you think it's those who slither in the dark?
I know not. But they could not have breached that passage without assistance from the inside. There
True.
are only a few who know of that passage, and would be capable of acting as a guide. Your Majesty, might you kindly step this way?
Hubert, do you really think she would do that?
Oh, we have cutscene for this one. Come here.
You're not getting away!
This shall be your grave, intruder!
She teleported away.
You simpleton! Were you trying to annihilate me as well? Thanks to you, the assassin made their escape!
As though one of your paltry skill would have caught such elusive prey in the first place. What matters now is that we give pursuit. All trespassers must be felled without mercy.
Defeat Shamir. Edelgard is routed. This map is going to get filled to the brim with enemies. Oh boy, we've got plenty of stuff here. And only 30 things to use. Rescue. Get Edelgard to a safe location using rescue magic. Anti-archer training. Grant the bowbreaker ability to stronghold captains and allied strongholds. Increase the durability of all enemy strongholds. Oh, decrease at the beginning of battle. And ingenious formation. Begin the battle in a special formation. Well, I'm not persuading Shamir, so we get 3 of the 4. Let's do ingenious formation, anti-archer training, and then do we need to rescue Edelgard to a safe location? She is strong as hell. Decrease the durability of all enemy strongholds at the beginning of battle. Let's rescue. Alright, so what do we have? We have another 8-unit map. Bernadetta's out there on her own. Let's change this unit.
Another day, another
Dorothea
stage to
out
conquer.
there. Shez has to be out there. We'll swap Petra out. Let's see here.
So be it.
Yaritza out there instead. We got assassins. Swap you around over there. Actually, let's swap you over here. See if we can't move Constance over. So currently our ones that we can use are Shez, Yaritza, Dorothea, and Constance. Not bad. Swap Monica. Swap Linhart around. Okay, so we want... We'll pair Monica with Dorothea, I guess. And then pair Caspar with Constance. Oddly enough. So 1,500 enemies, 16-minute completion time. Onwards.
That was Shamir.
Yes, that was Shamir. Oh boy. We're getting the good music this time.
So, what should I be doing again? I'll back you up. Hang on. So,
Actually,
what should I be doing again? Need a hand?
Assigning this as an adjutant.
I will gladly handle this. Allow me to work with you.
There is not a question of can. Let us face our foes as one.
Oh, if I must. This should be easy if we work together.
Leave this
I
one to
think I
me.
want you...
That's my cue.
Starting the mission. Is that
You go there.
Just do as I plan. I shall take it from here.
Which means the attackers.
They must be the Knights of Saros' assassins. We must protect Her Majesty with everything we have.
Stop the enemy incursion.
Hear that music, man.
Entry points before reinforcements arrive.
Eagle Guard. I must ask that you remain in the throne room where it will be easier to defend you and predict enemy movements.
It's not over.
And as your protection will require my full attention, I will remain here at your side.
Oh yes, and I made Petra an assassin, just like Shez, because she had completed her previous class. Probably could have changed Shez over as well, but I didn't feel like it, so... Shez will be this for now. As you see, that was Astra. That's one of the abilities that we have learned. Or I guess combat art that we have learned. Take those guys down.
It's careless to be allowing assassins inside. We must
Just took
exterminate
down
them
one.
with haste.
Peace,
down there.
good intruder. I assure you, I'm no fighter.
Says the wolf in sheep's clothes. Sure, whatever. Where's the Emperor?
I'm just gonna take you out real quick. And then while that's happening, we have the ability to go back this way and take these guys down. There we go. I'll have you take that out. Constance, you take that over. So Shamir's over there dealing with Count Hevering. I'm gonna have Yuritsa for now. Just make sure that all that's done and dealt with.
We'll do it together. I've got you now.
Shez, in the meantime, will take out everything over on this side of the map, including what's up here.
With me here.
We'll take a little bit longer to run around over in this direction. We're going this way.
Now die!
Assassin's probably going to run after me because I added a skill that draws nearby enemies over to Shez, which is fantastic.
Easy now.
Good. Just a little more and we'll retake this section of the palace. Nice and safe. Witness until they came barging in.
That's good. You're down. Alright, take this guy out in the throne room. Taken out most of everything.
Just do as I
It looks like
I shall take.
Constance is the perfect match.
I'm the star now.
Let's use Dorothea for a bit. It looks like she's not doing too hot against these guys. There's Shamir.
You're not my target, which means you're wasting my time.
Unfortunate for you that you just so happen to choose to stay and die by Lady Rhea. Because that will not do you any favors, unfortunately for you. I will need to keep an eye out for whoever has the key. Necessary for that chest down there. Though I'm sure that once we beat Shamir, everything will open up a bit. I'm just basically sending Dorothea over here to help guard Edelgard.
Leave this one to me.
Orders,
Looks like you could use some help.
guard Edelgard.
Here I go.
And swip over to Constance. What's up, buddy?
Can't waste another minute.
Let's do this! Slippery creature. Let's stay on guard.
Over here! More intruders!
She got away. I did too much damage to her. Alright, seize the strongholds and defeat the enemies who infiltrated the palace. Alright, so everyone is not in a good spot right now.
Starting the mission.
You should be starting the mission. By starting the mission, you should go down there.
Not a problem.
Shez is way out of the way, unfortunately.
I've got this.
I need you to go down there.
Deal teams with enemies. Crush them all.
I'm going to head over this way.
One room I can be alone? Now they're gone!
Commencing attack. Follow me.
Ah, Linhardt. It seems you're actually willing to work when the Emperor's life is on the line.
Could you imagine the headaches if she died? Not that you don't already work every second of the day.
I'll use this straight.
Caspar up to level 30 now.
The enemy is trying to seize the fire orbs.
Fire orbs?
If they succeed, they'll be able to target Her Majesty. We can't let that happen.
Okay, I guess I'll take care of that.
This stronghold will fall.
There's no way for me to go down and across the way that I want to, unfortunately. I have to run all the way down or all the way up. That's the way the map was designed, so... we will head this way, doing what's necessary in order to take everything out. Looks like they're currently dealing with some stuff out by the Queen, or the Empress.
I'll claim the...
You now need to go over and take care of these ones. Just get them. Swordmaster is advancing on Edelgard.
Dispatch her at once.
Well, I couldn't get there in time. What do you want me to do?
Not good. We're sitting ducks now.
Come on, at least give me more time than that to get over there.
Ready, are you?
Yes.
If you've come for me, I'll make you regret it.
bishops are dead now.
Assassins. They're in armies.
Alright, Swordmaster down.
It's too close. We best stay on our guard, Your Majesty.
Go ahead and take out all these guys for you.
Nothing can stop us. Behold!
Alright. All those guys down.
Ready, are you?
Starting the mission. Is that an order?
Kill that guy.
Not a problem.
Jazz, kill that guy. There's Dorothea. Dorothea is still up here guarding Edelgard, isn't she? That's fine.
This stronghold will fall.
I'll just focus on taking care of people like this assassin.
Here goes.
Stand down! Stand aside!
Here goes.
Commencing attack.
Got some advanced units here that we're taking care of.
Follow
That wasn't too good of a level up, unfortunately. Who am I targeting all the way over there?
Ready, are you?
Yeah, right.
Death serves my purpose.
And you're done.
It's not over.
Everyone to me! I will walk you to the Emperor's hiding place!
That's it for them.
That can't be good. He's going to use magic to
Take a
send in
breather.
attackers.
That takes care of the weapons. Which leaves us with the true problem at hand. You will not escape our clutches this time.
They're really keeping the heat on. All right, time for another approach.
Enough of this. It seems clear the enemy won't come out of hiding until I do.
Well, I suppose.
Right. I think we got them.
I've got you now.
So these guys are down. Which is good. Oh boy, Edelgard's advancing.
But is it wise to place yourself in such peril?
We took them out at
I'm
least.
glad we took care of those reinforcements. The last thing I want is more work.
And Constance.
Is that an order?
Just do as I planned.
We'll just send both of them over there to guard, and Shez will do cleanup down here. I don't like you. Go away.
We'll do it together. I've got you now. Enemy down.
You demonstrate your strength anew.
She just advanced a little bit, and then we have to take care of Shamir in the time being. I don't see anyone with a key, so I don't know if that happened and I just missed it, or whether we have to fight Shamir again and then something else is going to happen. We'll find out, though.
Do it.
Here we go. Oh, today is not your lucky day, buddies. Goodbye.
That should do for now.
Skies were meant to be secure. Easy now. Doubly certain we have a traitor in our midst.
Catherine.
It's brave of you to try and lure us out, but such courage will cost you your life.
Thunder, Catherine. It seems Rhea is not playing around.
No mercy to the Archbishop's enemies!
My lord, we stand ready to warp the Emperor back to the throne room upon your command.
Please, by all means. Yes, come here.
So, use the magic. A wise man is ever ready.
you, Minister Hevery.
I'm gonna die from that, huh? Probably wish you had. Now I just have to beat your ass even more.
It's not over.
Look out!
Yeah.
Let's link up.
Well, I suppose.
Finish it off.
Pardon me.
We'll do it together. I've got you now.
Cool. Now that we have the chest key, we can go down here and get this chest.
Taking a beating, Catherine. But don't worry, I've got your back. Should have known I couldn't do this without you, partner. Now come on! Nobody can stop us if we fight together! You got my back?
You guys are so fucked and you don't even know it.
We'll do it together. I've got you now.
Yeah, that one probably didn't go according to your plans. Alright, so now that we are super overpowered,
Fight well.
Yes.
Even the two of us isn't enough.
goodbye.
We will show true strength!
It should take them both down.
Your life is forfeit.
Catherine, run while you can.
Damn. We actually killed Shamir.
Shamir, no!
The threat has been quelled, but we allowed them far too much leeway. The situation calls for careful reflection.
Still, you saved my life, which means my path for the future remains intact. Thank you.
Well, I don't think we got an S on that because we took too long, but I think we definitely got everything else.
Did you hear? My father has
Vanished. Yes. We should have killed the dastard when we had the chance.
All I can say is that I wished my father to be tried fairly, as is his noble right. But now, it is clear that will never happen.
I could excoriate you further, but we lack the time. We must get to the bottom of this, and quickly.
Interesting. So it was the Ire Duke.
The Knights of Seros descended on us with the fury I have rarely seen. In all that confusion, even a bear could have slipped away without raising an alarm.
I would not go so far as to call them conspirators, but my father had many old friends in the palace. Some may have turned a blind eye. They should be found and questioned.
I agree. That is one possibility. Though there is another. Yes, well. Now that we have a fugitive on our hands, I intend to make full use of it. This situation affords us a chance to remedy another.
Oh boy. That's never a good thing coming from Hubert's mouth.
If that is the beginning of a scheme, Hubert, you do a terribly poor job of veiling it.
It is no concern of yours. Not yet, at any rate.
Oh no.
Right. Lovely. Well, so long as whatever you're planning has Edelgard's blessing and will be of aid to the Empire, I will brook no complaint.
All will be revealed in time.
Just off the mark. Just off the mark on the completion time. We did get the KOs and the damage taken requirement, though.
Battle.
Nice to see.
I won't let...
Level 30 hero number 2. Alright.
I won't let myself stop here.
Wow. Shez is so high level.
I'm kidding.
37. I guess that's what happens when they end up on everything, huh?
Only thorns left on this rose.
Ooh, meteor. Got a large bullion from that chest. And Ferdinand and Monica got sea support.
I'm told the secret passage they used was sealed off centuries ago.
Yes. The palace floor plans failed to even show it. I'm shocked the church knew of its existence.
In the age of Seros, the Empire and Church were intimately related. It's safe to assume the Central Church took pains to retain its information from the time.
I shudder to think what other inconvenient secrets they might be privy to.
Yes, well, based on the scale of the attack, they must have seen this as their first and only chance. Ah, there you are.
They said you wanted to talk?
Yes. I believe I owe you an apology.
Oh yeah? What for?
To be blunt, I thought you were with the enemy. I had you pegged for an informant, planted among us by those who slither in the dark. It was not an unreasonable assumption. You enter Her Majesty's life at the perfect time, allure her with your strength, and choose our house to study with. And oh, surprise! You have dark powers. It was all too much to dismiss as mere coincidence.
I can see that.
It was at Hubert's suggestion that I appointed you captain of our mercenary unit. He felt this would allow us to quietly assess your abilities and allegiances, and I agreed. I know I told you I did this because I believed in you and your strength, but the decision was somewhat more nuanced than that. I'm sorry.
The moment I got wind of this attack, I immediately thought of you.
That's no fun. I don't like you when you do that to me, Hubert.
This is it, I thought. The traitor has sprung the trap, and now the Emperor's life is in danger. But instead, you thwarted the assassination attempt and kept Her Majesty safe. I was wrong about you. Deeply so. And for that, I am ashamed beyond measure. Pray forgive me.
You know what? Apology accepted.
Don't worry about it. I would have done the same. Honestly, I thought it was weird how quick you both trusted me. Good to finally know the reason behind it all.
That does not excuse our actions. We had no right to deceive you as we did.
But you do that with everyone. You act like this is a special case.
But I swear, we will make amends. You have but to let us know how.
You can start by trusting me. Or if that's not in the cards, have the decency to tell me you don't to my face. At least then I'll know where I stand.
I doubt doing so would have changed anything. But I understand the sentiment. We will attempt to be better going forward.
We will attempt to not be fucking assholes going forward. It's gonna be tough.
Be better? Really?
Hubert,
Yeah.
why not just promise to be more forthright?
Because that might make me a liar.
You're trying to deceive me all this time and now you're worried about being a liar?
Let me speak plain. I no longer believe you to be working with the enemy. However, that does not necessarily mean the possibility is now non-existent.
So you're just worried about being wrong.
Oh, I guess I did ask for honesty. But look, do you guys trust me or not?
Of course we trust you.
Or I do, at least. So please, let us begin this relationship anew on solid ground.
It is now 1182. The Great War Edelgard instigated has swept across Fodlan, and looks more grim with each passing day. The Empire struggles to hold Aryan Road to the west and the Great Bridge to the east. The kingdom cannot bring Western lands to heal. Even the Alliance must face changing times. The Central Church sends the Knights of Seiros to the Imperial capital to assassinate the Emperor, but fails. Roughly half a year passes before the tides show any true sign of shifting.
Okay, that's the end of part 1. I don't know how many parts there are, but that's the end of part 1. Scarlet Blaze. Okay.
Shifting history.
We'll just let him say it, because he's got a better voice than I do.
5 months have passed since the attack on the Emperor, and 1182 nears a close. Though each army schemes, the battle maps barely change. But now, history is about to resume its course.
Oh, okay. Just leading right into the Golden Deer. What's Claude up to?
Momentous day in Fodlan's history that people will mark for generations to come.
Then why do you look so conflicted?
I'm not conflicted, Claude. I'm just painfully aware of how much stronger I need to be. That's why I'm counting on you and the Alliance to make up the difference.
Hey, I've got feeling unprepared down to a science, so let's say we help each other out. If we work together, we can achieve what's best for both of us, right?
Indeed.
I have reviewed the terms, Your Majesty. All that remains is the placement of your seals.
Everything looks good to me. I'm especially glad we found a solution to the control of Murden.
You've done fine work here, Hubert. Thanks. And thanks to you as well, Holst. You know I'm not good at this sort of thing.
I've never known you to shy away from ceremonial affairs like this. But it is the most significant pact since the founding of the Leicester Alliance, so your caution was most prudent. I must admit, I was quite nervous. Thankfully, I managed not to follow it up.
You surely jest. You did your work masterfully, without batting an eye. I am truly impressed that Leicester's most valiant general is so well versed in diplomacy.
Don't be insulting, Hubert. Sir Holst is a duke. A man can be brave in battle and still know how to get things done. Take our Minister of Military Affairs, for example.
A man for whom the term looks can be deceiving was likely invented.
Speaking of Count Burgleys, where is he? I thought he'd be here so we could go head-to-head. We never did get to finish our battle.
I'm afraid the Count couldn't make it, but perhaps you'd consider my bodyguard instead? I'm certain you'll find the challenge to your liking. Is this your first time meeting, by the way?
It is. Well, friend, care to go around with me?
They say this Holst character is the strongest man in Leicester. But is he as strong as the Ashen Demon?
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Now that's what I like to hear.
I hope you mean later and not this very second. It would be a shame to get blood all over this nice paperwork.
Yes. All eyes are on us. We must make this a grand gesture and show our soldiers that Adrestia and Leicester have joined forces for a brighter future.
Well, let's get to it. As leader of all the lords and knights who sit at the round table of the Leicester Alliance.
Nice.
I
like that art.
Regan hereby swear this pact.
That's spoilery as hell, so I'm not going to put it in the thumbnail at all, but it's nice to see that art.
Leicester pledges to work in harmony with the Adrestian Empire and do everything in its power to secure a peaceful future for Fodlan.
You know, this seems very abrupt, so I don't trust it in the slightest. I hate to say. Sorry, Claude.
The covenant between the red blood and the white sword that crowns the double-headed eagle. I, Edelgard von Hresfeld, hereby swear this pact. Adrestia pledges to work hand in hand with the Leicester Alliance to deliver peace to the land and secure a future for all its people.
The pact is sealed.
And now it is our job to uphold it.
Goodness, look how far you've risen. You're standing on the stage of history.
So basically, we've formed an alliance with the Leicester Alliance.
Oh, you'll do great things. Yes, and greater things still.
Right then. We've got plenty of bright new faces here at the round table today.
It's unfortunate that we had to basically kill all of the other members of the Golden Deer. Other than Hilda and I believe Lysithea? Lysithia's still alive, I think.
A brand new count ruling Gloucester.
Unfortunately, Lawrence was not able to leave Gloucester. He sends his apologies.
Yeah, Lawrence is still alive as well. Marianne's dead. I'm pretty sure Raphael and Ignatz are both dead as well.
I called you here to give you notice. The Leicester Alliance is assenting to the Empire's request and sending troops to the Kingdom front. Houses Regan, Gloucester, and Daphne will be supplying most of the soldiers. And instead of the usual route through Aelel, we'll be invading Fraldarius directly by sea.
You're staying behind, right, host?
Indeed I am. Almyra is still an unknown quantity, and we've no idea if or when Prince Shahid might stage another attack.
It's so weird to hear Pro ZD voice characters in video games on a frequent occasion now. Like, I mean, these are back-to-back games that we played for the channel where he's voiced a character. I mean, I'm pretty sure he doesn't voice something in Xenoblade, but he voiced a character in the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative as well. I will not name the character, just in case you haven't played the game yet, but he voices a pretty awesome side character in that game as well.
And the same goes for House Ordelia. They've had more than their share of troubles on their border. We agreed that shipping their army away might not be the most prudent of ideas.
And that's all she wrote. You'll find the details in the document you've all been given. I wish the Kingdom would see there between a rock named Adrestia and a hard place named Leicester and throw that white flag high, but of course they won't. So good luck, everyone. I'm counting on you.
So this is interesting. I did not expect to get these units to use if that's what's happening.
And attack the Kingdom from the east. At the same time, we will resume our invasion from the west, using Aryan Road as a foothold.
So a pincer maneuver.
We'll subjugate the Kingdom's lords one by one as we work our way toward Blythid.
News of the Pact will doubtless have spread throughout the Kingdom by now. Provided enough houses see the futility in fighting, we may be able to avoid unnecessary bloodshed. However, that is likely wishful thinking. We should instead expect the worst and prepare accordingly.
You think? Some of them already bent the knee to us once, along with Count Rowe. Wouldn't they jump at a chance to swap sides again?
An idea I am certain has already occurred to the king. Lately we have been scrambling to reorganize, dealing with an attack by the Knights of Seros and negotiating a pact with Leicester. And during that time, the winds of purgation have swept across Fargus. In one fell swoop, the king has expunged most of the nobles likely to align with us.
Still, it's us and the Alliance against him, which means we've got the advantage. What's there to worry about?
The concern isn't that we'll lose. It's that winning might come at the cost of too many lives. What an utterly pointless, senseless thing to do. Oh, I find it all so very draining.
Whatever our intent, we're the instigators here.
Definitely are.
We can't expect the enemy to do anything less than defend their land with tooth and claw.
Speak for yourself. If someone invaded my territory, I'd hand over lands and titles on a silver platter. Especially if I had no chance of winning.
There is truly no other noble like you, Linhard. And perhaps no person at all for that matter. Regardless, we must proceed with caution. When people think someone is after what they possess, they respond with fear, even if the thought is all in their head. In the eyes of the people of Fargus, there is no limit to what evils the Empire might visit upon them.
My father started saying he can't sleep because he's scared the old church is coming to Garreg Mach to kill him. From the sound of my mother's letters, he's really shaken up.
Remember that the Kingdom has much coldness. We must not forget to be bundling up like people of the snow.
Our Petra is always ready for what lies ahead.
I wish I had better understanding of your Fodlan ways, so I could be giving more assistance to everyone.
Don't worry about it, Petra. With all the different factions in this thing, even we have a hard time keeping it straight. This almost seems so backward compared to the way things were in Brigid.
In any case, the battles ahead will be more brutal than any we have yet fought. Keep a vigilant eye out for both yourselves and each other. That is all.
Guess things aren't gonna be so easy anymore. We're under some real pressure to win.
Yep, we definitely are. Oh boy. Yeah, this one's definitely got a lot of extra side missions to it. Well. Oh, you can now acquire the following class at the training grounds: Asura and Emperor for Edelgard. You can now exchange for a wider variety of facility materials at the supply depot. New exam seals are available for purchase at the item shop. Some units have gained new battalions. Oh, right. Edelgard asked to see me. Something about a decision she's making. I guess we gotta speak with Edelgard before we do anything else. Let's go do that real quick.
Hello.
Since we're here. Edelgard. There you are. We shall begin the meeting at once. Come with me. Battle suggestions. Does anyone have any suggestions regarding how to prepare for battle? At the start of each chapter, your allies may offer you battle suggestions. When a suggestion is implemented, the ally who made the suggestion will have boosted morale and increased support points with you. If you implement a suggestion, its effects will last until the end of the chapter. You can check the effects of an implemented suggestion by selecting Camp Info from the pause menu.
I have a strategy.
Hey.
What if we tried this?
Interesting. Suggestions. Focus on developing flexibility to improve sword technique. Effects. Slightly increase the class experience gained when training in a class that wields swords.
I have a proposition.
Focus on developing destructive power to improve axe techniques, and close combat skills to improve brawling techniques. So basically, axes, gauntlets, or swords.
This.
And we increase our support points with the characters whose suggestion. That's interesting. We currently have two classes that wield axes, those being Caspar and Edelgard. And then we have two classes that wield swords, which are Petra and Shez. I think we're going to do axes, and that will also increase our support points there. We will proceed with this plan. I'm counting on all of you. Nice.
What do you think?
You've been keeping busy, Shez. I hope you are ready to push on toward victory. This may be a fierce battle. It is possible we could lose any one of our close comrades. I would suggest treasuring the moments we have now, and spending time with them while you can.
Hey!
Thinking about my friends reminds me of my old mercenary band. Actually, I made a little something when I first became a full-fledged mercenary. It might not be a bad idea to give that to someone. It'll be my way of saying I'll always be there for them. Merc Whistle. Gift an ally a Merc Whistle, and in return they'll give you their special accessory. Put on a special accessory, and your unique action ability will be overwritten with that of the unit who gave you the accessory. Only allies with an A support level with Shez can receive a Merc Whistle. You'll only acquire one Merc Whistle per playthrough, so think carefully about whom you want to give it to. So instead of it being like a romance thing in this game, it's a combat boost thing. So Shez will overwrite her unique action ability with that of whoever you give it to. And it can be any character, which is nice as well, because before they like gender locked it because sometimes they didn't want to have characters in gay relationships. Dagda War Journal. There you go. You can just pause each individual frame to read that, because I'm too busy to read any of that stuff. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Let me grab that award that we've got real quick. And yeah, we'll do some support conversations as well, whatever we've got. I don't think we have very much, but we will have some, probably. Let's see what we got. Ooh, we got a handful, actually. Yeah, we'll do this. So we have the A support now for Petra and Edelgard. Let's see what this is.
Oh, Edelgard. I'm glad I found you. Got a few?
Of course. What is it?
Well, remember how Hubert laid into me after the Knights of Seiros raided Enbar? It got me thinking. What do I need to do for you to trust me again?
Nothing. Hubert and I stopped doubting you the moment that business was behind us. You worked tirelessly for me, and I'm grateful for that. So please, there's no need to worry.
Still, we have no idea when those who slither in the dark might try to interfere again. Honestly, it kind of feels like there's more I should be doing to help. Like I'm just floating around without a purpose or something.
Very well. What do you propose?
If I had to pick something, I'd say protecting you would be my top priority. Everyone's got a bone to pick with you, especially the Church and those who slither in the dark. And after all, the Imperial Army's not gonna lose if we've got you at the top handing down orders. And I figure Hubert'll stay off my back as long as I put my energy into keeping you safe. Then you can lead us to victory, and we'll all live trustfully ever after.
Perhaps, but I think you're forgetting something. The only way to protect me is by staying at my side, and therein lies a conundrum. Allowing you that close to me would in itself be proof of my trust, without which you would have never earned such an opportunity in the first place.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Still, I can't help but feel like that's what I've got to do to prove myself to you. Please, Edelgard. Even if it just means shielding you from your enemies.
Very well. Do as you will. In the meanwhile, I'll tell Hubert... Well, I'm not entirely sure what I will tell him. At the very least, we know those who slither in the dark are able to shapeshift at will. So, in a way, it doesn't matter who I choose to surround myself with. They could just as well turn out to be someone wholly different.
Thanks, Edelgard. I honestly could have sworn you were gonna say no.
Of course. What I truly want to know is why you'd risk your life just to earn my trust.
Do you really have to ask? You reshaped my entire life. Before I met you, I had nobody. I was nobody. But you still chose me of all people to command one of your armies. Now I can't walk down the street without people yelling my name. And I've got a great life surrounded by amazing friends. All of it possible because of you.
That's not true. You would not have earned this post if you lacked the talent.
Maybe now, but before you came along, nobody in the Empire gave a Pegasus's backside about talent. You gave me a seat at the table when no one else would.
Ah, I see.
If you want proof you've changed the world, just take a look at me. Because this gal, she's a whole new person thanks to you.
Thank you. Surprisingly cute and wholesome. Oh, that was just her B support. We can't even get her A support yet. Alright.
Now, time for a break. Let us concentrate our efforts on rousing conversation. Afterwards, I say we reward ourselves with a gripping training session and crown the evening with a meal well-deserving of our ravenous appetites. Is something amiss?
I don't know. It feels like you might be leaning a little too hard on the whole giving your all thing. You didn't used to be like this. I know you want to do your best, but it's starting to feel like I can't even relax when I'm with you.
Perhaps you are right. I have been feeling rather restless lately. My father disappeared during the raid on Enbar, as you know. I have no idea where he is or what he's doing at this moment. Had I only the conviction to execute him, he would not have escaped. A fair share of the responsibility lies at my feet. At times like these, Devoting myself fully to what few things I can do is all that keeps me going. Otherwise, I would simply succumb to the reality of how powerless I truly am.
Now that you mention it, I think I finally know what was feeling off about you. It's that pressure forcing you to keep your guard up, like you're constantly braced for the worst.
I'd say that's probably accurate.
Take your breaks, for example. It never looks like you're doing anything even resembling relaxing. I wouldn't worry about your father, though. I know you'll find the right solution.
I appreciate your counsel. I feel as though I have gained some valuable new insight into myself. After all, one can hardly notice the changes they undergo as they happen. It seems partnering with you was the right decision. Your advocacy for maximal effort continues to be an inspiration.
Oh, I wasn't really trying to give you advice or anything. And that's definitely not what I'm advocating for. But if what I said helped, then I'm glad I could be there for you. I just hope you can start cutting yourself a little slack. Your future's bright, Ferdinand.
That's true. Stop trying to hold yourself back.
A veritable wellspring of advice as always. I am deeply obliged.
As long as you're feeling better. I mean, war councils are grim already, but they'd be practically unbearable with you sulking around the place. And really, it was nothing. Just here to help.
Nothing? If ever there is a time to give it one's all, it is when expressing gratitude. It seems you could learn something from me as well. And just you watch. I swear on the Iron Name, I will surpass my father in the most stunning fashion.
He's never gonna learn, is he?
Yeah, you gotta stop comparing yourself to your dad, dude.
And that reminds me, I actually found myself at a noble's tea party not too long ago.
Oh, you must be talking about Ferdy, right? He does love his tea.
No. It happened while I was doing some work as a bodyguard. The nobles who threw the party even gave me a cup of tea to show their appreciation. I didn't really know what to make of it, though. Hard to say if it was even good or bad.
Understandable.
To say?
Settings like that tend to choke the flavor out of any food or drink you happen to come across. Among other things.
Yeah, I'm not
Among
sure
other
I'm for
things.
all that fancy stuff. Hey, remember when I asked you to sing for me? You belted out a verse from one of your operas. It kinda reminded me of that tea. It's like, I just don't have the background for that sort of stuff. If you don't grow up in it, you're not gonna get it.
Everyone has a right to those things, though. Taking in a tragic opera, letting an elegant meal dance across your taste buds. Nobody should be excluded from those pleasures just because they were born a commoner.
It'd be good
I agree with
if
that.
things worked.
You think it's not?
Take my time back as a mercenary. I would have gladly eaten a half-cooked rat if it meant I was getting food in my belly. It's only since I joined up with this army that my palate's become a little more discerning. What I'm saying is, if you never have the chance to eat good food, then you'll never know what good food is supposed to taste like.
It's true.
Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but...
In that case...
Dorothea?
Oh, sorry. I got a bit caught up in my thoughts there. But I think it might be just as you say. Will you indulge me for a moment?
Sure. What's on your mind?
When I first started singing, I did it for me. Only me. But it wasn't long until Manuela discovered my gift. So, I joined the opera company. It felt... incredible. I wanted the whole world to hear my singing. But once I became a songstress, I started attracting more and more attention from the nobles.
Yeah.
Before I knew it, I wasn't singing for myself anymore. I was singing for them.
That's not a good thing.
You can't even appreciate
Definitely
my
shouldn't be
songs
doing
if
that.
you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth.
That might be true, but like I said, that isn't necessarily a bad thing. So many people would kill to be able to do what you can do.
I don't agree with what we just said there.
Don't belittle yourself like that. Your singing is incredible, Dorothea.
I don't think that's the problem.
I appreciate that. I really do. But I still can't help but wonder.
Well, looks like we got one more with Shez, and it's Petra. B support, I
This
think.
war is going on and on. Do you think we will ever have sight of the end?
Yeah, I do. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but it's definitely out there on the horizon.
It will be good to be putting this war behind us. When the war is finished, what are you wishing to do?
That's a pretty big question.
Then I will give more clarity. How will you be supporting yourself when your contract is completed? If you have the desire, you could come to Bridget with me.
That's pretty hefty.
Wait, seriously? I thought you were just pulling my leg about that.
I would never be pulling your legs. Also, I am speaking with seriousness.
I forgot, Petra.
After losing the war with the Empire, Bridget was forced into becoming a vassal state. But this war is giving Bridget the chance to stand on equal feet again. We will be opening our borders to Fodlan. The exchanges between us will flourish. I am needing a person I can trust to give me help with this. Please, accept my apologies if the offer was given with too much suddenness.
No, it's not that. This war has been particularly ugly, and it seems like we're tearing each other apart on a daily basis. But people like you and Edelgard are already thinking about what comes next. How to plan for it.
That's what leaders are supposed to do.
You're every bit the ruler they are.
No, I am different. I am the Queen of Bridget. We are the proud Isles, placed upon the sea by the spirits, who are watching over us to this day. Our future has the brightness of the sun. I am hoping you will be at my side as we are shaping it.
Vague and non-committal or express interest. I'll express interest.
I'm happy you put that much stock in me. Honestly, it's a good fit. I've got nothing tying me down. No family, no titles, no property to speak of.
I am not asking for your answer in this moment. I know your sword is sold right now, but when this war is over, I hope the making of a decision is at the top of your to-be-doing list. That is why I am approaching you so early, because I am very, very sneaky.
Fair enough. I'll keep that in mind.
Because I am very, very sneaky.
And I don't blame you for trying to sneak ahead of the competition. Honestly, I'm kind of flattered. So, how about this? Let's both make it through this war unscathed and decide what comes next together.
By me. A-rank friend. Okay, so that was her A-rank. She is completely done. Fantastic. It looks like Edelgard and Caspar have their A-rank as well. Let's see what this is.
I think that's enough for one day. You really know how to make me work up a sweat.
You kept me on my toes as well, Caspar. Thank you.
Hey now, you'll never have to twist my arm to get me to train. Just shout when you want to go again.
I'll keep that in mind. I often have trouble finding people to spar with.
Yeah, they don't want to hurt you after all.
No surprise there. Not like folks are lining up for a chance to knock the Emperor's teeth out.
You seem to have no problem coming after my teeth. Sometimes I think you're trying to kill me.
What? No! I mean, I only do it because I know you can handle it, right?
He's so taken aback.
Look, just don't say anything to Hubert, okay? If he finds out we're sparring, he'll have me cut into pieces and dumped into the nearest river for sure.
I mean, he'll probably just do that if you steal his cookie or something like that.
He already knows. I convinced him that I need the training if I'm to stand on the front lines.
Well, that's a relief. So, why do you, by the way? Fight on the front lines, I mean. You're an incredible fighter, but the Empire would be in deep, deep trouble if anything happened to you.
A symbol of strength.
It's not like you're after the glory like I am. Shouldn't you just hang back and send us orders from some distant hilltop? Seems like it goes pretty hard against that rationality thing you're always talking about.
Caspar? Lecturing me on what's sensible? I must be dreaming. But yes, you're right. It's not entirely rational.
See? I'm a thinking man sometimes.
Sometimes.
That's not to say I don't have a rational reason. My presence on the front lines improves morale, and my skill betters our hope of victory. So long as I don't fall in battle, taking the field is the smartest thing I can do.
It is a risk, though.
Right, sure. So, what's the unrational part?
The emotional side. I can't stand the idea of remaining safe, while friends and comrades alike risk their lives for our cause. You're all out there on my command, taking lives from others and giving your own in return. It doesn't seem fair for me to do any less.
Except that you're the Emperor.
And I say the Emperor should help.
That's true. She does. That's like one of her main moral principles.
Hey, I get it. You want to get in the dirt with the rest of us to pull your weight, right? You and me are the same in that way.
A dreadful suggestion, but I'll allow it.
Oh, come on. You should be happy. Here I thought we were completely different people, but it turns out there's a little Caspar in you after all. You know, I can't even imagine you lording over us from far away. You work best when you're down in the mud with the rest of us, sending chumps flying.
If there's a little Caspar in me, perhaps it's time to put a bit of someone else in you. Someone with manners, perhaps?
The M word? No thanks.
M word.
Politeness would only hold me back.
Alright, well, that was interesting. And I think that's gonna be it for now. Yay! So we beat another mission, we did a few more things, got some more supports down, and yeah, in the next part, I will have done all of the camp stuff that's necessary, checked all the weapons, done all that lovely fun stuff that is entirely uninteresting to put in a video. And when we come back, we'll be on the map again, going through the missions and seeing what's up over there. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you're having a happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Stay safe.